In Destiny 2, we have different tiers of weapons, where different tiers have different perks or perk pools for weapons and different stats and distributions for armor. Traditionally, a tier system is implemented into a game where loot is the primary motivator to facilitate the leveling process. However, in Destiny 2, all the leveling gear is still a relic of the Year 1 static roll system, whereas in Destiny 1, blue weapons, for example, actually had random rolls. Typically, in other games, high tier gear is reserved for the more difficult activities. However, there is the caveat that many of these other games have crafting and upgrading systems as well. But in Destiny, the names for the tiers don't even make sense anymore. When was the last time someone said that a blue item was rare or it's hard to get a purple item? To be honest, the white items are the rarest in the game beyond pulling them out of collections. In Destiny, the difference between each tier is basically non-existent. There is no upgrading from weapon to weapon because every single weapon are completely different. Every single blue gun is its own set perks. There are no lateral changes from weapon to weapon. An example of this would be getting a green Void Scout Rifle with Rapid Hit, then finding a blue Void Scout Rifle with Rapid Hit and a magazine perk, then finding a purple Void Scout Rifle with Rapid Hit, a magazine perk, and Dragonfly. But instead, it's more like finding that green Void Rapid Hit Scout Rifle, and then the upgrade to that is a blue Solar Scout Rifle with Dragonfly. Those two weapons have nothing in common. You're simply waiting to get out of the leveling cycle of the game to start enjoying the game and using guns with perks that you want. So let me provide an example of how the Elder Scrolls Online handles the tier system in a much better way than Destiny 2. I know there's a lot going on the screen, but the only important thing to look at here are these two boxes. The mace on the left is a yellow tier, which would be akin to a purple in Destiny, and the purple mace on the right would be akin to a blue in Destiny as far as the hierarchies go. These are the exact same maces besides their tier, where the yellow mace is one tier above the purple mace. Every single stat on the yellow weapon is greater than the same stat on the purple weapon, thus making a yellow a superior item in the game. I must also bring up the fact that yellow items almost never drop in ESO, and as I said before, the yellow items in ESO are akin to purples in Destiny. Getting yellows in ESO are reserved for trials, which are ESO's form of a raid, arenas, and extremely low chance of finding a yellow out in the world. So if I were to suggest a fix to the tier system in Destiny, it would be this. Weapons are no longer distinguished by their tiers alone. So in other words, you would be able to find a falling guillotine in every tier, but going up and down tiers would give or lose a column of perks while maintaining the same random rolls available to that weapon. Here's an example of what the different tiers of falling guillotine would look like, where the white tier version would only have the first column unlocked, the green tier would then have the first two columns unlocked, and so on until the purple tier. In order for this to work, purple tiered gear would need to be made more elusive because, as it is, purples are the standard, not an exception. However, for things like raids, trials, pinnacle, and powerful rewards, items would always be purple to distinguish these activities. This would make purple gear more rewarding and rare when found, thus more exciting when found, and make those activities much more rewarding because players know that legendaries are now an exception to the rest of the game instead of the standard.